A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great privilege and pleasure to join all of you for our very first YouTube live session this evening. I want to thank all of you, community members and subscribers for our channel, YouTube channel Towards Life with Gaur Gopal Das, for your ongoing support. It's all of you who are truly making this channel a community of inspiration and transformation in which we learn the key elements of conscious living. I want to thank you all very, very much. And I know some of you out there are like the children in Hamelin following the Pied Piper. Wherever the Pied Piper of Hamelin went, the children followed them. So when this Pied Piper is doing live on Facebook, I know you're there. When this Pied Piper is on Instagram, I know you're there. I know when this Pied Piper comes on YouTube live, you're there. So I'm very, very grateful to all of you for following us wherever we are. It's not following us, we are following each other to help each other lead a better life, a quality life, and increase the experience of our joy, bliss, and satisfaction in our lives. So thank you all very much for this evening. I'm sure all of us out there want to achieve success and excellence in whatever we do. We want to be excelling in physical fitness. We want to be excelling in emotional fitness, our relationships. We want to be achieving excellence in our professional fitness, our work, our academics. We want excellence in our spiritual fitness, our connection with ourselves, our connection with divinity. We want to excel in every area of our life in a way that we feel that we have led a complete, holistic life. Not just physically well, not just emotionally well, not just professionally well, not just spiritually well, but holistically well. We want an overall experience of wellness, a complete experience of wellness, a holistic experience of wellness. So what are those key elements? What are those key principles which, when adopted and lived by, can help us achieve excellence in any area of our life? What are those key practices which, when adhered to, can help us take whatever we do to the next level? So this evening I thought I would share with you the ABCD formula, my ABCD formula for achieving excellence in whatever you do. If you're a student writing your board exams, and Soumya, don't worry. Focus on what you can do, and if you stay on, we're going to be talking about it. Excuse me. So whether it's your academics, whether it's your professional life, whatever it is, let's see how this ABCD formula can help us achieve excellence in our respective area that we want to achieve excellence in. Arun, thank you very much for joining. God, you're all going at a very rapid pace. The comment, Shilpa, very, very grateful you've joined. Suvam, thank you for joining us. Sanket, very grateful that you've joined us this evening. Suyash, Channa, Mega Food, Ravi, Nazar, Aditi, thank you so much. Barsha, very, very grateful that you've joined us. Ukpen, very grateful that you've taken your time out to join us. And on our YouTube community, today is Abha's birthday. So Abha, wish you a very, very happy birthday and have a great evening ahead. My prayers and best wishes that the choicest of blessings be showered upon you. Stay tuned as we talk about the ABCD formula for achieve excellence. The first principle is the A for absorption. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever we want to succeed and excel in something, we definitely need the right approach, the right skill. And when we have that right approach, that right skill, we need to practice it again and again and again to achieve excellence. Like when Tiger Woods was asked, what is his key or what is his secret to success? He said it's 3 words. And he said, practice, practice, practice. Tiger Woods said the 3 words to focus on in order to achieve success is practice, practice, practice. Yes, certainly we need the right kind of approach and skill set, and we need to practice it again and again to succeed and achieve excellence in any area of life, obviously, right? So, like for example, when we're talking about relationships, one of the approaches or skills that we need to master in relationships is communication skills. And if we practice this communication skills again and again and again, surely, slowly yet certainly, we'll get there to excellence in our relationships. Uh, if you're looking at achieving excellence in your academics, for example, you would, let's say you're a literature student, you would have to master the skill of, have the right approach towards writing, to a comprehension abilities, and then practice it again and again and again to reach there. Let's say, for example, you're wanting to achieve excellence in your physical fitness, where your diet and nutrition and your exercise matters. You have to learn the right form of your workout, the right form of your exercises, and practice it again and again and again to succeed and achieve excellence in your fitness levels. Now, I do believe that practice of the right approach, the right skill is necessary to succeed and achieve excellence in any area of life. But there's more to it than that. We have to practice with the right kind of absorption. So A is for absorption. If we do not practice with absorption, practice will get us somewhere. Practice with absorption will get us to excellence in what we want to achieve. I'll give you a simple example. I used to go to this college hostel, medical college, and I used to go and give talk to the students in their hostel, in their dormitory. And every room would like have 2 students, like a 2-seater room. And hostels, God, I must tell you, they're like the holy places of pilgrimage to visit, I'm sorry to say, but the level of cleanliness is pathetic in most hostels in Indian colleges and universities. And you go to boys' hostels, you just walk through the lobby, they have these lines and all kinds of flags are hanging out there on the lines to welcome you. I used to have to duck myself underneath those, all what they hang on these clotheslines to get into their rooms. So once I remember, I went to one of these rooms, 2 guys were staying there. And as I was sitting and chatting and talking with them, one of the guys, the other guy was studying, completely focused on his study. And from the next room, there was this loud music, like a blaring music, blast I would say, such a huge noise there. And this guy whom I was talking to, he started telling me, this guy is such an insensitive fellow, he's just so rude and he's absolutely not a gentleman, he doesn't care a damn for his room, the neighboring room partners. He's just completely wanting to do what he wants to do and just plays this music all the time. And I'm sick of this guy. I've complained to the warden of the hostel, but the warden doesn't listen. And he kept complaining, grumbling and whining. The other student was totally absorbed and focused on his studies. For him, I didn't exist in the room. For him, the other fellow friend, his fellow roommate didn't exist in the room. For him, the blaring, blasting music around didn't exist in the room. He was practicing what he was doing with absorption. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, distraction is those things that we look at when we are not absorbed in what we do. If we are absorbed in what we do, we are going to practice with absorption. If we are not absorbed in what we do, we will practice, but we are also going to get carried away by the distractions around. So, example of academics, practice with absorption. If we are absorbed, we are not going to look at the distractions. If we are not absorbed, music, the guy is talking, the air conditioning is not right, there's bed bugs in the room, there's mosquitoes in the room. We get distracted when we are not absorbed, ladies and gentlemen. I also feel very strongly that if it's your professional life, you need to be absorbed to achieve excellence. Absorption with practice with absorption. Like I remember our community had an elderly gentleman who was a musical genius, in fact. His name was Mr. Shibad. He passed away a couple of years ago, and he used to come to our ashram and train my guru in music and singing, and he composed over 4,000 melodies, 4,000 tunes of the Hare Krishna mantra where we chant kirtan in our ashrams, and he was teaching my guru how to chant these kirtans, 4,000 melodies. I mean, a genius. Mr. Shibad, we would call him Shibad uncle. Shibad uncle would tell us the story of another legendary musical genius in the Bollywood industry who was his inspiration. This legendary musical genius was staying in the same neighborhood as Uncle Shibard would live. When the Uncle Shibard was a little boy, he would go around in the early morning for a jog, like around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And as he would pass by the house of this legendary music genius, he would hear this legend practice at 4:30 in the morning for 2 hours with complete absorption. Uncle Shibard would go and peek into the window. This legend was so completely focused and absorbed in his practice of singing. He would go to the lowest key on his keyboard, on his harmonium, and do what is called as kharaj, like you go you go to the lowest key and hold that key and sing for hours. And this is why the sound spectrum for this legendary singer developed so amazingly well that everybody who knows Hindi songs in Bollywood considers him as a maestro in singing. This gentleman was Mohammad Rafi, who would practice for 2 hours one note, the lowest note on the keyboard called kharaj, going and keep holding that for hours, 2 hours. No distraction whatsoever, because he was absorbed. Ladies and gentlemen, unless we practice what we do with absorption, there will be distractions. People will be a distraction. Music will be a distraction. Social media will be a distraction. WhatsApp messages will be a distraction. We will only be distracted if we are not absorbed. And if we are distracted, we can never achieve excellence. Practice can get you somewhere, but practice with absorption, which brings no distractions, will take you to the next level of excellence. Even in relationships, I believe, we need to practice our communication skills with absorption. We need to practice listening to each other with absorption, being present, being mindful, being there in the power of now. How many times have you experienced in your relationships, either with your spouses, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, with your parents, with your siblings, with your friends, with your office colleagues, that you are talking and they are lost? Or you are talking and you are lost? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want your relationships to reach the next level of excellence, I do believe very strongly and firmly that you need to practice whatever you do in your relationships with absorption. There was a girl living in a small town and she was madly in love with a guy. And the parents were not like really keen that she goes around with him or gets married to him. And these are the messages I keep getting all the time on our Facebook, on our Twitter, on our Instagram messages, on YouTube comments and messages. I keep getting this from young guys and girls. I mean, we love this guy just because she's from a different community, just because he's from a different community. Should we not get married? We are like, two bodies but one soul, do sharir, ek atma. These are the kind of things they say, and love languages changed, believe me. Like earlier on, they used to have this love language which was very spiritual and, very religious. Like they would say, you are the body, and the boy would tell the girl, you are the boy would tell the girl, I am the body and you are my soul. Main sharir hu, tu meri atma hai. And now that love language has changed. Now the guy says, मैं स्मार्टफोन हूँ, तू मेरी सिम कार्ड है. And the girl prays that मेरी एक ही प्रार्थना है, I only have one prayer, that your phone is not a dual SIM card phone. Oh my God, believe me, this love language is completely changed these days, But this girl was so madly in love with this guy and the family was completely against it. And guess what? The family one day went out of town. And when the family went out of town, the boy pinged her and said, can you come to meet me in the nearby forest? There was a forest outside of the town. And the girl, realizing that the parents and the family are out and they're going to be back in the evening, she rushed towards the forest. And she had to get back at a certain time. So she rushed towards the forest. And as she was running with complete absorption in the love of her life, in her mind there was only one thing, him. In her mind was only one thing, meeting him, talking to him, seeing him. She was totally absorbed in him. And as she was running towards the forest to meet him, there was a sage sitting in meditation in the forest. She bumped into the sage. She didn't even realize. She just ran ahead, completely absorbed in the thoughts of meeting her beloved. And the sage kind of came out of his meditation annoyed. He saw her running. He started yelling all kinds of words at her and started shouting at her. And then, after a couple of hours, when she finished her meeting with her lover, she was returning back to go back to the family on time. Before the family and the parents came back, the sage was still waiting there to yell and shout at her. He stopped her and said, "How the hell could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? I was completely absorbed in meditation and you were running there and you bumped into me and you broke my meditation." The girl said, "Swamiji, I don't even know I bumped into you. I was so completely absorbed in the thoughts of meeting this gentleman whom I love. I didn't even know that I bumped into you." Guess that my absorption in my boyfriend is way more deeper than your absorption in your God. If you were so absorbed in your God, you wouldn't be distracted and bothered by whether I bumped into you or not. I didn't even take note that I bumped into you because I was absorbed. You took note that I bumped into you because you were not absorbed as much in what you were doing. Ladies and gentlemen, distractions are those things that we see when we are not absorbed in what we do. Therefore, the first principle of achieving excellence in academics, in your professional life, in your spirituality, in your relationships with others, is practice whatever you do in these respective areas. Not just practice. Practice with absorption. That will take you to the next level. If you just practice, distractions will take your attention away. But when you practice with absorption, one pointed attention. Students, if it's your exams, one pointed attention, study. Keep your phones aside, keep your television aside, keep the WhatsApp aside, study. Professionals, you want to go to the next level of your promotions? Businessmen and ladies, if you want to take your business to the next level, focus. When you're at your work, focus. No other things. No gossip, no chit chat, no this, no that. No browsing the internet for useless wastage of time. No talking to girlfriends, boyfriends at work. Focus if you want to excel. You want excellence in relationships? Focus in connecting to them. Focus in your conversations. Practice, absorption, and you will certainly achieve excellence in that will take you to the next level. So that is our A for absorption. Practice with absorption. Stay tuned as we move on to the second principle of achieving excellence, which is the B in the ABCD formula. Shruti, thank you very much for joining. Nimon, thank you so much. No distraction. Yes. Parul, thank you. Alpa, very, very thankful to that. Practice, practice, practice. Focus, focus, focus. Indeed. Baishaki, thank you very much. B is not for balance. Baishaki, I know you're guessing what is B for. Guys, if you want to guess what the B is for, come on, let's try there. Let's see what you guys are going to say. What is the B for? A is for absorption. B for Baishaki, it's not balance. Any guesses what the B is for? I'm waiting to see if you guys are going to type what the B is for. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. B is for what? Thank you, Chakshu, for joining. Gosh, you guys are really going at such a high speed. I can barely read your comments. Hello from Singapore. Yes, I'm very, very happy to see you. Thank you very much for joining, Brijesh. Thank you very much for joining, Raghunath. And we are now going to go for B. B is not for box. B is not for balance. B is not for basic. One guy said it right. B is not for battle. Two guys said it right. B is not for bravery. Three guys have said it right. B is not for behavior. Four guys have said it right. Ladies and gentlemen, my second key element for this evening to achieve excellence is B for believe. What do you believe in? Do you believe that I can do it? Or do you believe that I can't do it? Whether you reach excellence or not depends on what is your belief. Do you believe that come what may, I can do it and I will do it? Or do you believe, I don't think I have enough resources, I don't think I have enough support, I don't think I have enough people who can help me with this, so I don't think I can reach there. What's your belief? I can or I can't? That decides whether you're going to get there. All of you guys who are writing exams now, focus on what you can, not on what you can't. If you focus on what you can, you're going to gain confidence. If you focus on what you can't, you're only going to get depression, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, right? And therefore, I understand in real life, you may say, oh, it's nice to give a pep talk sitting there, saying, okay, you should believe that you can, you should believe that you can, but we don't have the resources, we don't have the support. Successful people who reach excellence are those who don't wait for resources to come. They start with what they have. They start from where they are. Because they start from where they are and what they have, even if it's little, with the right kind of absorption and practice, they reach where they want to be one day. In the United States, there was this one guy who was really kind of looking for a job, and he went to Microsoft looking for a job. They had advertised, they wanted to have someone apply for the post of a janitor who would take care of the building and the maintenances in the building. So this guy went and applied for the job of a janitor. The gentleman who was taking the interview interviewed him and said, fantastic, you're doing very well, and good news that we've selected you for the post of a janitor. We would like to send you your employment letter. If you kindly give us your email ID, we're going to send you your employment letter by email. The guy said, sir, I'm sorry, I don't have an email ID. The janitor said, the interviewer said, you've come here to apply for a post of janitor at Microsoft, and if you don't have an email ID, we're sorry. If you're so backward and you don't have an email ID, you're going to work at Microsoft, we're sorry, we can't give you this job. The guy left, despondent, disheartened, as his opportunity to get a job as a janitor at Microsoft is gone. What is he going to do? He wasn't well educated in terms of having a degree. The guy put his hand into the pocket and pulled out a dollar bill. All he had in his pocket was about $10. That's all he had. He didn't think, I can't do anything with this $10. He was wondering what I can do with this $10. He went into the market, purchased tomatoes with this $10, went door to door selling those tomatoes and made $20. Every single day started delivering and selling tomatoes, and guess what? He became one of the greatest wholesaler and retailer of tomatoes in the entire United States of America. From what he could do, from $10. He didn't say, I can't do, I don't have resources, I don't have money, how can I start a business, how can I study, I don't have the books, how can I start a relationship, I don't love this person, there's nobody to support me, my family doesn't. He didn't say, I can't. He said, what I can do. Became the largest retailer and wholesaler of tomatoes in the entire United States of America. Guess what? After he was a big millionaire now, he decided to get his insurance done. So he called an insurance agent home, and the insurance agent prepared all the papers and all of that and said, sir, we would like to send you your insurance papers and we would send it to you by email. Can you kindly tell us what your email ID is? This fellow said, well, sorry, I don't have an email ID. The insurance fellow said, sir, without an email ID, you're such a big businessman being a millionaire today. Can you even imagine what would you have been if you had an email ID? The guy said, a janitor at Microsoft. If I had an email ID, I would probably be a janitor at Microsoft. Because I didn't have an email ID, I went out and I started with what I can, and look at what I have. Ladies and gentlemen, believe that you can do. Don't think that you can't. If you're going to focus on you can't, you're not getting anywhere. Forget excellence. I must tell you this one thing for sure. Brian Acton, the founder of WhatsApp, got rejected by Twitter, got rejected by Facebook. After getting rejected by Facebook, after getting rejected by Twitter, he did not sit there thinking, what can I do? I don't think I can do anything. I don't think I can. He didn't focus on I can't. He focused on what I can do. Started WhatsApp. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook purchased WhatsApp from Brian Acton at $19 billion. $1 billion is 6,000 crore Indian rupees. You understand what that means? 6,000 crore Indian rupees is $1 billion. 10 billion is about 60,000 crore Indian rupees. And he got about approximately $20 billion for WhatsApp, selling it to Facebook. That's about 120,000 crore Indian rupees. What are we talking about? Why? Because he didn't think of what I can't do. He focused on what I can do. Steve Jobs, when he was rejected from the company that he founded, he himself founded Apple Incorporation Macintosh, and he got people on board because he was good at technical skills. He wasn't good at management and administration. He hired people on board. It was a board, but the board decided to chuck Steve Jobs, who founded Apple, out of Apple. He didn't sit there crying, thinking, I can't do anything now. I'm lost. I'm thrown. He focused on what I can do. Within that time when he was out is when he started Next Animation. He started Pixar. He found out the love of his life. He did what he can do and was hired back by Apple and Macintosh once again. Focus on what you can, not what you can't. What is your belief? What do you believe in? Do you believe that I can do it? Yes, I don't have all the resources, but I'll do what I can do with what I have right now and move on and inch towards my goal, bit by bit, slowly yet steadily, but I'll get there. Or do you believe I don't have the resources, I don't have the support, I don't have the essential skills, I don't think I can get there. I can't. If you believe I can't, you will never be able to do it. If you believe you can, you will get there one day. There was a shoe company, and the shoe company decided to send one of their sales managers to a town to sell shoes. So the sales manager went to this town, and he got back completely despondent and dejected and told the managing director, sorry sir, I could not sell one single pair of shoes in that town. The MD asked why. He said because nobody there wears shoes. कोई उधर जूता ही नहीं पहनता, तो मेरा एक भी पैर नहीं बिका. He came back. The marketing manager, the managing director sent another sales guy to the same town. He returned back having sold 2,000 pairs of shoes. The MD asked this fellow, the first fellow went and said he came back without selling a pair of shoes, and he's saying कोई उधर जूता नहीं पहनता, nobody wears shoes, and you sold 2,000 pairs of shoes. How? He said, yeah, because उधर कोई जूता नहीं पहनता, nobody wears shoes there. The first guy saw nobody wears shoes, and the second guy saw nobody wears shoes, but first guy said, nobody wears shoes, how will anybody buy shoes? The second guy thought, nobody wears shoes, that means great scope to sell shoes. Ladies and gentlemen, those who believe that I can do, they see an opportunity in every problem. And those who believe that they can't do, they see a problem in every opportunity. When you get an opportunity, do you look at a problem in that opportunity? Then you can never do anything. And when there is some problem there, do you look at an opportunity in that problem? If you look at an opportunity in that problem, you can do things. Which is why the B stands for believe that you can. With whatever you have, wherever you are, start. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Take that first step. Don't keep thinking, जब तक वो नहीं है तब तक मैं कदम नहीं लूंगा. Till the time I don't get that opportunity, till the time I don't get those resources, I'm not going to move on. You will never move on. Start that first step. In your relationships, if you wanted to say something to someone, start. In your academics, if you wanted to improve in some subject, start. In your professional life, you want to learn a new skill, start. Even if it's small, start. From a journey, your journey from A to Z also has the smaller steps. You can begin from A to B first. You don't have to jump to Z. You can, not you can't. I know at the moment you can't reach from A to Z. Fine, I understand. You can't reach from A to Z. I completely understand. Situations, resources, support is not there. I completely understand. You can't reach from A to Z. But I know that you can reach from A to B. That you can. Believe that you can. And you will slowly move to B. Then believe that you can move from B to C. And you will slowly move to C. And believe from the small steps, you will reach one day where you want to be and excel in what you want to do by reaching the Z. The journey from A to Z. And if you think A to B ज़्यादा है sir, B तक भी नहीं पहुंच पा रहा, reach from A to B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, because even if your B is composed of 20, move from A1, B1, B2, B3, B4, B20, then start from B to C. Take those steps, even if they are small. So my second letter from the ABCD, B stands for belief. A, absorption with practice. B, believe that you can move on from one stage to the other, even if it's small, and you can achieve excellence. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about the third letter of our ABCD formula for achieving excellence, and we will continue our discussion soon. But thank you very much, Manish. Thank you for saying C is clarity. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Let's see what is C. C for clarity, C for concentration, courage, consciousness, commitment. I know all of you are going talking concentration, commitment. No, none of these. I know all of these are necessary. I understand. All of these are absolutely necessary. Character, choice, confidence. Yes, clarity. I understand. Courage, concentration, again, consistency, confidence, choice, creativity, conviction. I understand. What a political question. Who's going to win the elections? That's not the discussion subject for today, but maybe another time we'll take that up. Who's going to win the election in 2019? But what is that C, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you all very, very much again for staying on with us, staying tuned with us to discuss the subject matter of the ABCD formula for achieving excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, A is absorption, B is believe, and the C stands for company. Who are you surrounded by? Are you surrounded by people who enthuse you, inspire you, motivate you to believe that you can? Or are you surrounded by people who demotivate you, who are envious of you, who are jealous of your success, who want to pull you down so that they go up and make you believe that you can't? Your excellence doesn't just depend on your absorption with practice. Your excellence doesn't just depend on believing that you can. Your excellence depends on your company, people whom you're surrounded by. One of the things I can truly say in my personal life, I found such an incredible impetus for doing what I'm doing today is the company of people. My guru, His Holiness Radhanath Swami, some of my closest friends in the monastery, in the ashram, and in the community that I'm living in. My family, my mother, my sister, my brother-in-law, my grandmother. My father, of course, left this world. And even when he was here, he was also constantly offering me that support, that inspiration, that motivation. Go ahead. You can do it. If you have somebody who believes that you can do it, you will get the belief that you can do it. If you have people around you who are constantly telling you you can't, man, even if you can, at a point of time you start thinking, mere se nahi hoga, because the energy is negative. Like Adolf Hitler once said, if you speak a lie loud enough and long enough, people start thinking it's the truth. So if 20 people around you are lying to you that you can't, and they are lying to you for a long time, you will start believing that it's the truth that I can't. Like in a small town, there were these tiny little frogs, and all of these frogs decided we're going to have a competition. What's the competition? There was a tall tower in the town, and all these frogs decided we want to have a competition to see which of us, these the tiny little frogs, climbs the tower the first. He's the winner. So they decided. All frogs came to the bottom of the tall tower, and all frogs came to the bottom of the tower now trying to climb up to go on top of the tower. And all the village people, the townspeople came there as spectators to watch, ye mendak kya karne wale, what are these frogs going to do? And as the frogs started climbing up the tower, the townspeople were sitting there and some of them started talking to her, look at that frog, thinking that it's going to go up the tower, idiot, it's a tiny frog, have you seen the height of the tower? How is this frog even going to be able to make it to like 1/4 of the tower? Impossible. Somebody said that frog is a nut. How, this completely brainwashed to think that they're going to do that. It is absolutely impossible. That people kept talking negative and some frogs started falling off falling down from the tower, already hearing all of these negative comments that you can't, you can't, you can't. Some were still trying to climb up, and then the others started talking about the frog. Hey, this frog, idiot frog, stupid frog, thinks that he can climb up to the tower. What kind of arrogance, what kind of overconfidence, ये overconfidence में लोग मरते हैं, इससे थोड़ी होने वाला, इतना overconfident नहीं होना चाहिए. Shut up man, tell all the frogs, just get down, you're not going to get there. Everybody's talking like that. All the frogs started falling off from the tower. One kept going up, steadily kept going up, and reached to the top of the tower, the only one frog who reached up. Others were just falling off from the midway itself. When did this frog grow up? Tiny little frog. How did it keep going up, and how did it reach the heights, the topmost height of the tower? When the frog came down, they started asking the frog. Reporters were already waiting, right? Media were waiting with their microphone and the camera saying, "My dear frog sir, I mean, you are the winner, the only one. Everybody else was falling down. You made it to the peak of the tower, sir. Maybe you kindly tell us what was the secret based on which you kept going up." You know what the response of the frog was? Ah? Then they realized the frog was impaired in hearing. Because the frog couldn't listen to all the comments of the people around, all the negative comments of the people around, the frog kept going up. Ladies and gentlemen, are you giving your ears to the people around you who keep telling you, you can't, you can't, you can't? Is he stupid? Isn't he arrogant? Isn't she overconfident? Arey, usse thodi hoga. This guy can't do it. She can't do it. He can't do it. Insecurities that they have come across to you, they come across to you by telling you that you can't. Which is why, become deaf. Behre bano devyo sajno. In this regard, learn to be deaf. Behra. Learn to be hearing impaired. If you keep listening to these comments, you're never going to get there. You can't imagine how many comments I have to listen from people. Don't do this, ye karo, mat karo, this. People will keep saying these things and they will keep discouraging you, either because they don't like you, or because they have the insecurity and they don't want you to get there, or just because they are the self-appointed watchdogs who think that they're saving you from all the problems that can happen because of getting there. Whichever way, you have to learn to choose your company well. With these kind of townspeople who are going to say impossible, overconfident, arrogant, you're not reaching the peak of a tower. You're not reaching excellence. With these kind of people, hi, hello, goodbye, relationships. And with the other kind of people who inspire you, motivate you. No man, you're halfway there, you can get there, don't worry. Soumya, you can get there for your exams, don't worry. When you have people like that to enthuse you, to pump you with that motivation and make you believe that you can reach the peak of excellence in whatever area you want, academics, professional life, relationships, spirituality, whatever you can reach if you have people who believe. One of my favorite characters in the Ramayana of Valmiki is Jambavan. And I love Jambavan, an elderly bear, an elderly bear, gone with a contingent of monkeys, soldiers. Hanuman also one of those in that contingent. All wanting to find out the whereabouts of Mother Sita, who was kidnapped by Ravan and kept in Ashok Vatik. They didn't know where she was. They had set out to find out. And at a point of time, they were so depressed. This is this massive ocean, sitting at that ocean. They got news from this vulture called Sampati that she's across the ocean in Ravan's Lanka and is in this place called Ashok Vatika. Now, who's going to cross the ocean? Jamban said, hey, I used to cross this ocean, jump across and come back, but now I'm an old person, I can't. Every monkey said I can jump this much, but I can't come back. Hanuman was the only person who was sitting there without speaking a single word. One of the most powerful personalities, tremendous potential hiding in there to cross the ocean and go find Sita. But sitting there, not saying a word. Jambavan came up to Hanuman and said, Hanuman, you have the potential to cross the ocean. Because of a curses of a sage, you forgot it. But here I am to remind you of your potential. You can. Not you can't. You can. And as Jambavan reminded him, Hanuman, of the potential, Suddenly Hanuman started expanding in his size and took a leap from a mountain, jumped across the ocean, found the whereabouts of Mother Sita, and came back to give the report to Lord Sri Ram. Do you have a Jambavan in your life who can believe in you and say there's a Hanuman sitting within you and has the potential to cross any ocean and any obstacle that comes on your path? Do you have a Jambavan who can believe in you that you can cross that ocean? And if you have one, believe me, you will cross the ocean to reach where you want and find out what you're looking for. Or are you surrounded by those townspeople who are yelling to the frogs, you can't, overconfident, arrogant, stupid, idiot, can't get to the peak of the tower? Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the C in the ABCD formula for success and excellence is company. Who are you surrounded by? The townspeople who discouraged the frogs, be deaf to them. Or Jambavan who encouraged Hanuman that you can cross the ocean. That company makes all the difference to take you to the next level of success and excellence in what you want to do. And here we are to the last letter of the ABCD formula. Be with us and stay logged in as we conclude the ABCD formula for achieving excellence in any area of our life. Bro, thank you very much, Saurabh. Very, very happy that you're here. D for dedication, D for determination, D for discipline, D for diversity, D for devotion, D for direction. I know everybody is now sitting with a dictionary to see what D stands for, but thank you so much. And all of the qualities that you mentioned are certainly required. Define, decision, I know. Now, Ria, thank you for joining us. Sufal, very, very happy that you are with Ipsita, Srirangam, Piali, Hitesh, Parul, thank you so much. Ashraf, very, very happy that you are. Dare, yes Ashraf, dare for sure. Desire, I know all of these words are certainly required, but I have something in my mind that I want to share with all of you as the last word for achieving excellence. Stay with us as we conclude our last word for achieving excellence in our lives. You know what? A for absorption with practice. Absorption in your practice so that you don't get distracted by it. You can have it for sure. B for believing that you can, and you can have it, where you look at opportunities and problems, not problems and opportunities. And C for company. Yes, you're going to be deaf to those guys who are going to the townspeople who tell the frogs you can't, and you're going to have Jambuvans around you who can tell you, yes, the Hanuman within you can get it there. After having all of these, ये तीनों होने के बावजूद भी, still, you have to remember one thing. Rome was not built in a day. Even if you build it right, even if you build it with absorption, even if you build it with belief, even if you build it in the right company, still excellence takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. One needs perseverance, one needs patience. You cannot get there straight away. All of this impatience and hastiness ruins what we do. We want everything right now. I want what I want, when I want, where I want, how I want. Doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. We need to have perseverance. We need to be patient and keep going with the A, B, C, and have the D. Somebody mentioned that, which is the determination, the grit, that if I fail, I'll stand up again and fight. I have the absorption, I have the belief, I have the right company, and after having all this, I'm still going to fail. I'm still going to lose. You have to lose and win many battles before you win the war. In every war, there are multiple battles, and you don't win all the battles. When you lose a battle, do you give up hope? Or with great courage, determination, and grit, stand up and say, no, I will fight. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjun lost. The Pandavas lost many battles. Abhimanyu was killed. Draupadi's 5 sons were killed. Bhima's son Ghatotkacha was killed. And there were many, many small battles that they lost. Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna, was their beacon light of inspiration and guide. Their guide, that company as I mentioned earlier. who kept inspiring them to stand up with full determination that I will not give up. Hell or high waters, I will not give up. I will keep going. In my relationship, unless it is abuse, I will not give up. In my profession, unless it is abuse, I will not give up. In my academics, I will not give up. In my spiritual practice, I will not give up. That D, that determination, takes our excellence to the next level. There will be some battles we will lose. One of the live sessions goes great, another doesn't. One of the event goes great, another doesn't. Life is not all hunky-dory where everything goes great all the time. Even I know that. But do we keep going and growing is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Once I met a gentleman on the plane. He was sitting right next to me and he wanted to have a chat with me. So I asked him what he was doing. It was in Jet Airways. He said he was a pilot on Jet Airways and he was not flying that day. So he was traveling somewhere. So he was sitting next to me. And I said, do you love flying? He said, yes. Yes, sir. Flying was my passion always. He said, I studied flying. I got the license of a commercial pilot, but I didn't get a job. It was my passion to be a commercial pilot. I didn't have a job. For a year I tried, I didn't get a job. The year after that, I didn't have a job as a pilot and my father died. So me and my mother now, no job. And he said the same year I got married, no job. And my passion is to fly. I want to be a commercial pilot. The guy said, and you know something, sir? Every year you have to renew your license for being a commercial pilot. It's not that you get a license forever. You have to renew your license for being a commercial pilot. If you have to renew your license, you have to fly for a certain number of hours. And I don't have a job, so how can I renew my license? I'm not flying. So I have to fly a plane to get my commercial pilot license renewed. And in order to fly, since I don't have a job, I have to pay money to be able to fly for that many hours and get my license renewed. And it's a huge amount of money. So I started loading, this guy is a commercial pilot. He said I started loading gunny bags of grains on trucks to get some money to maintain my family and to get some money so I can keep my license of a commercial pilot going on, because I wouldn't give up my passion to be a commercial pilot. I don't have money, I'm loading gunny bags on the truck, but I will not give up, And then one day he had an idea. He said, I'm going to start some kind of advertisement in local trains in Mumbai, the guy from Mumbai. He started putting some of this asked the guy, would you like us to advertise, took some money, put some advertisement in train and started a business that grew up to be a massive business of advertisement in trains and on train stations. Guess what? He started making so much money, but there's only one thing in his mind, his passion to be a commercial pilot. Every year for 13 years. After he got his license as a commercial pilot, for 13 years, every year he kept paying money to private planes to fly just to get his license renewed. And after 13 years of not giving up, he got a first job as a commercial pilot in Jet Airways. He's been with Jet Airways for 16 years now and he's completely satisfied, excellent in his job as a commercial pilot. Why? Because never gave up. Ladies and gentlemen, determination means to not give up. We will fail, we will lose, we may not necessarily get what we want in our relationships, in our spirituality, in our academics, in our profession. We may not instantly get what we want. We have to keep going with perseverance and doing the right thing. And that's how we will be able to achieve excellence and go to the next level. And therefore, when we talk about ABCD formula for excellence, the A stands for absorption in your practice, not just practice. Practice with absorption, otherwise distractions are always going to be there. Distractions are those things that you see when you are not absorbed in what you do. The second, believe. B for believe that you can, not that you can't. Steve Jobs believed that he can do something. Brian Acton believed that he can do something. The sales manager selling shoes believed that there's a scope to sell shoes because nobody wears shoes there, seeing an opportunity in that problem. The janitor at Microsoft started with what he had, where he was, I don't know whether the story is real or not, but the principle is real. Believe that you can. Start with what you have and you'll reach where you want to be. The C in the AB study stands for company. Whose company do you keep? The company of the townspeople who discourage the frogs, be deaf to it, or the company of a Jambavan who believes in you and looks at the Hanuman in you and instills confidence that you can cross the ocean. And the D stands for determination, that despite having the first three, still there will be battles that you lose. Don't lose hope. You may lose a battle, don't lose hope. Have the determination to stand up and fight again. Stand up and fight again. Even if it means 16 years, 13 years of waiting, this man did all what he could, and which is why he could follow the passion of his life and excel in what he wanted to do. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely want to thank you very, very much for being with us in our very first YouTube live session. I want to continue these YouTube live sessions and interact with our YouTube community, and we hope to do this on a regular basis. We'll keep you posted on when we do our next YouTube live session, which I hope and pray will be very soon. Until then, wish you all a great time ahead. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. Thank you and have a great evening ahead.